Hello and a very warm welcome to the MENA Golf Tour. This week we make our way to Muscat for the Ghala Valley Open Oman. Located at the mouth of the Arabian Sea, Muscat is the largest city of the Sultanate of Oman. Home to more than 1.2 million people, its landscape is dominated by the Western Hajar Mountains. The metropolis is a fascinating mix of Middle Eastern and contemporary architecture. Just around a 10-minute drive away from the international airport, the Ghala Valley Golf Club is one of the premier courses in the country. Built in a dried-up riverbed, the club has experienced new developments over the years since its inception in 1971, and the management is determined to improve the facilities further.
Last year we had started to design and build our new clubhouse. As you can see now, we've almost reached the finish line for our clubhouse, and it's starting to look and resemble like a very fantastic building. We've had some small minor changes on the golf course itself. We're in the process of removing some trees, trying to change the direction of play and trying to make golfers think about it a little bit more. But all in all, the course itself was fairly similar to what we've had last year.
With the Hajar Mountains as a backdrop, it really is a unique setting. The front nine are touted to be more challenging than the back nine, so if you err at the start, there's still a chance to jump back into contention in the second half of your round.
This course, it requires a lot of thought off the tee. We're a very narrow and tight course, so finding the fairway from the tee is very crucial. If you hit the centre of the fairway, you hit a nice shot to the green, you give yourself a lot of opportunities for some birdies. And last year, we had a 7 under, 60, 65, and 2 rounds of 65, I think, as well. So it just goes to show how good these guys are, that they can take on a very narrow and tight course, but still shoot good scores.
With 5 different winners in the 6 tournaments so far, it's been a pretty open order of merit this season. And what's great is the MENA region players have upped the ante and are now closing in on the competitors from around the world. In fact, Ahmed Marjan's terrific triumph in the Ras Al Khaimah Classic has not only broken the glass ceiling, it's inspired the other golfers in the region to follow suit.
This is definitely the most competitive season so far. You can tell by cut marks. The cut marks are becoming higher, and also the closeness of the competition. I think we've had maybe 2 playoffs this year. So yeah, this is definitely the most competitive year so far.
As part of the MENA Golf Tour's quest for nurturing young talent, the professionals on the tour hold clinics to coach the next generation. In one such endeavour, the pros stepped up to give the aspiring golfers some valuable tips, and they were pleasantly surprised to catch up with the star of the club, Niharika, the 11-year-old who beat all the club members across all ages in their monthly competition.
When I go back to India in my holidays, I'd like to play the South Zone and have a good rank in that, so that I can be there, at least I can get into the Junior PGA. Then as I play the Junior PGA, I can get a rank like Lucy Lee. She's a really good player. She at least played the Women's Open, so I can at least play that and then get my certificate for PGA. Then I wanted to play for the LPGA and then start a small academy in Coog.
If this child protégé keeps working hard, she promises to travel a long way in the golfing world. Zane Scotland hit a 4 under par 68 to be one of the early contenders for the title. Ras Al Khaimah Classic champion Ahmed Marjan managed a 1 over 73 in the opening round. And Pakistan's Shafiq Masih had a solid start, ending the day's play with a 3 under 69. So here's how the leaders shaped up. Zane Scotland and Matt Turner shared second spot, and there were 3 players on tied third, but Spain's Antonio Bueno was on the top of the heap. With an eagle coupled with 6 birdies, amateur James Yeomans rocketed up among the contenders. Morocco's Faisal Saghini's consistent performances in the first 2 rounds helped him move up the ladder. But unlike the opening round, Antonio Bueno had a forgettable outing on day 2 with a 2 over 74. So Zane Scotland, a man used to leading the field, was in control after 36 holes. He was 4 shots clear of 6 players, but it was still all to play for entering the final day. Start of his final round, Zane Scotland didn't get off to the best of starts. The 2013 Order of Merit winner, with this 3rd shot at the par 4 first, it finished about 10 feet short and resulted in a bogey. On the 3rd, Faisal Saghini, who'd missed 2 cuts during the season, showed he was back to form with this birdie. First round leader Antonio Bueno picked up his first shot of the day at the par 5 4th. That was his 3rd shot. He ended up with a birdie and was now 2 shots behind Zane Scotland. As for Scotland, his up and down start to his round continued. He had this putt for eagle at the 4th. He missed it, but it still resulted in a birdie, so 2 birdies and 2 bogeys on the first 4 holes for him. At that same hole, the 4th, James Yeomans, Zane Scotland's playing partner, was short with this eagle putt, but he still ended up getting a birdie, and after a birdie at the 3rd as well, he was now 2 shots behind Zane Scotland. Christopher Cannon at the par 4 6th. This was his 2nd shot, and it was an excellent approach shot that resulted in his 2nd birdie of the day. Also on the 6th, this was Antonio Bueno's 3rd shot. He'd secured a birdie at the 5th, but this poor chip shot resulted in a dropped shot. On the 7th, Shafiq Massi had this for par. He missed it, and that took him to 1 over par for the day, when he double bogeyed the 8th to drop really out of contention. Here was James Yeomans at the 8th with his 3rd shot. A disappointing chip for him resulted in a bogey. And Zane Scotland on the 8th, a birdie putt for him. Already 8 under par, and he got his birdie, picking up a shot on the 5th also prior to that, and now he led by 4 shots. On the 9th, Carlos Balmaceda had a birdie putt at the par 4. He got it and went 1 under par for the day, 5 behind Zane Scotland. Question now was, could he mount a charge? Meanwhile, on the 10th, Juan Salcedo of Mexico had this putt for par. He missed it, it was his first bogey of the day, and that followed on from birdies at 2 and 5. So here's how it stood, with Zane Scotland, winner of 6 previous tournaments on the MENA Golf Tour, still holding his 4-shot lead that he took into the final round. Faisal Saghini is his nearest challenger, and he finished 4th in this tournament 12 months ago. Here's Zane Scotland on the 10th, the par 4, 352 yards. This is his second shot. And he's come up short there and to the right. It's an awkward lie for him now. 25-year-old Mexican Juan Salcedo at the 11th. One of the largest greens on the course, and missing his putt there. That was for par. Zane Scotland now with an awkward shot from just off the green. And that's a pretty good recovery. That should be enough to give him a good opportunity to get par. And he does so. Terrific stuff from Zane Scotland, a good up and down from him. Here's Englishman James Yeomans, a par putt for him at the same hole. Oh, and it's lipped out. Goodness me, he started with a 74 and then he's moved into contention with a 67, but a miss like that is not what the doctor ordered. Juan Salcedo in the foreground, but needing to splash out of the bunker in the background is Antonio Bueno, and he's done that beautifully. His 3rd shot at the par 5, 555 yards, and that's given him a really good birdie opportunity. Zane Scotland now at the 11th. His 2nd. And he's on the green, and that's the most important thing. Bueno once more, the 27-year-old Spaniard with his birdie putt. And he's got it. So that takes him now to 3 under par. Zane Scotland for birdie at 11. Up and over the little ridge. And he's not done badly there to judge the pace. Carlos Balmaceda, 42-year-old. He's been a professional since 1990. That's his 3rd shot, splashing out of a bunker at the par 5 13th. Bueno once more at the 377-yard par 4 14th. Perhaps the tightest driving hole on the course. Oh, and that's a terrific shot. He's given himself an excellent opportunity for birdie. Back to Balmaceda, his birdie putt at the par 5 13th, and it's just about dropped. Relief written all over his face there. So he moves to 5 under par. Here's Bueno with the birdie putt. And he's got it. So all's well that ends well. He wasn't happy with the approach, but he's got the desired result. So let's have a look at how things stand. 2 Englishmen, 2 Spaniards, a Moroccan and a Mexican in the top 6. Balmaceda, who missed the cut at Ras Al Khaimah, he's bounced back in fine style, but it's still Zane Scotland's tournament to lose. Faisal Saghini on the 14th, the par 4. This his 2nd shot. Very lofted club. And a pretty good result, just about pin high. Zane Scotland now. He had a birdie on the 12th. He's now 5 shots ahead. This is him on the 13th. His 4th shot at the par 5. Oh, goodness me. Doesn't get much closer than that without dropping. But he'll have to settle for par. Carlos Balmaceda, his second shot at the 14th. And what a good shot it is too. Really good birdie opportunity set up by Balmaceda. Now the amateur, James Yeomans. Birdie putt for him on the 13th. Chasing top spot in the amateur's order of merit. And he's got his birdie. Yeomans, the 23-year-old, whose home club is the Montgomery in Dubai. Nicely done. Faisal Sakini now for birdie on the 14th. Excellently holed. And the big fella likes it. He moves to 6 under par. Can he put some pressure on Zane Scotland, I wonder? Now Balmaceda taking his time and produces the desired result. Birdie for him. He moves to 6 under, 4 strokes behind Zane Scotland. Juan Salcedo now at the par 5 16th for birdie. Oh, yes. Little bend of the knees there, and the ball dropped in the end. Zane Scotland, 10 under par. This is second at the 14th. Slightly awkward lie, that. But he's really produced an excellent approach. And that is a good opportunity for birdie. Balmaceda once more. This for par at the 15th, the par 3. Really needs this, you feel, and he's got it. So he's still hanging on by his fingernails. Zane Scotland. Birdie putt for him at 14 after that excellent approach. And he's got it. Very nicely holed. That reinforces his advantage. He's in complete control. He's got a 5-shot lead with just 4 holes left to play. So, is it going to be a 7th title on the MENA Golf Tour for Zane Scotland? It certainly looks that way, barring a total collapse from him, and that's something we're not accustomed to seeing. Carlos Balmaceda, his third at the par 5 16th. Little chip and run. And it's run all the way to the hole. Terrific effort, an eagle for him. Picks up 2 shots, and that puts him now in sole possession of second place, 3 behind Zane Scotland. Is it too late? Or are we heading for some late drama? Bueno now on the last. His third shot. Oh, and that's really nicely judged from just off the green. The 356-yard par 4. James Yeomans at the 16th. Just off the green himself. Little bump and run for him. And he's got the pace. I thought initially he'd got it right, but it's just run past the hole. That's not dead. Antonio Bueno. His par putt at the par 4 18th. He's got it, and he finishes with a 71. 4 under par for him. Clubhouse leader Christopher Cannon, he's already in with a 69. 5 under par, that's how he stands. Juan Salcedo, also at the last, had a bogey at the 17th, but he ends up with a par at the 18th and finishes with a level par final round of 72. Solid 3 days work for Salcedo. Zane Scotland on the 16th, the birdie putt for him. Oh, he was expecting that to break, and it didn't. Ball's ended up next to the hole, though, so that's a very straightforward tap-in for par. He remains at 11 under par, and still 3 shots clear of his nearest rival. Who's this man here? Carlos Balmaceda. Second shot at the last for him. And nicely done. Just over the water hazard, and he's given himself a chance for birdie. James Yeomans now. Par putt for him at the 16th. It just didn't look right, did it? Again, looking for the ball to break, and once more it didn't. So Yeomans drops a shot back to level par for the day. Carlos Balmaceda now at the last. If he holds this putt, it'll give him a 66 and the best round of the day. But, well, he gave it every opportunity, didn't he? But he's run it past the hole. Taps that one in for a 67. So that's level with the best rounds of the day. An excellent performance in that last round by Balmaceda. 8 under par he finishes with. His playing partner Faisal Sagini. Par putt for him at the last. And nicely holed, and he's pleased about it too. And why wouldn't he be? Because he's finished with a 69. Back in form, Sagini. Nicely done.
What did you finish on?
8 under total and 6 under total.
Zane Scotland on the last. His approach just needs to avoid a disaster. And he's left it just a little bit short, just fractionally off the green and to the right, but he's avoided the sand trap. So the third shot for Scotland. He's got plenty in hand as well. Oh, so close. Wouldn't that have been a spectacular way to end? But it's just stayed up. He's got a very small tap in for par and for victory. A final round of 68 for Zane Scotland. He's been Mr. Consistent this week. 11 under par, 205. And he'll now take a watching brief as James Yeomans tries to finish things off in the right way. That's just slipped past the hole. That was for par. So a bogey on the final hole if he knocks this one in. And he does. And he finishes with a final round of 73. That's 2 under par and leaves him as the joint leading amateur in the tournament with Daniel Kay. So Zane Scotland, rounds of 68, 69 and 68, back in the winner's circle and up to second in the order of merit behind Luke Joy. An excellent performance, and it's good to see Scotland back to his best.
This week I had a real bit between my teeth. I hadn't been here before. It's the first time I've come here. I really wanted to finish it strong, and yeah, I really wanted to win this week. And I kept on telling myself that I had a good first round, and from that point I was telling myself, right, this is the one. I'm gonna win this one, and it came good.
First award is the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award, which was set up to recognise our MENA national members. And in joint first place, Kareem El Hali and Ayub Lergati, both from Morocco. And the leading MENA national professional, Faisal Sergini. And on to the main presentation for the Gala Valley Open. In the amateur section, we had a joint leading amateurs on 2 under. From Scotland, Daniel Kay, and from England, James Yeomans. If I could come forward. And the 2014 Gala Valley champion with rounds of 68, 69, 68, total of -11, from England, Zane Scotland.
So that's a wrap from Muscat. We hope you've enjoyed the action. Until next time, goodbye.